Have you ever felt like the world around you is spinning out of control? Wars, chaos, and greed seem to be everywhere, and it's hard not to feel overwhelmed. But what if I told you that both Buddha and Jesus spoke about times like this, and offered timeless wisdom to guide us through? In today's video, you'll not only practice your English listening skills, but also dive deep into powerful spiritual lessons from Buddhism and Christianity. These teachings can bring peace to your heart and clarity to your mind, helping you navigate life's chaos with calm and confidence. As you listen, pay attention to how these ancient teachings align with our modern world. You might be surprised at just how relevant they are. And remember, this isn't just about learning English, it's about finding deeper meaning and purpose in everyday life. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how these teachings resonate with you and how you find peace when life feels overwhelming. Now, let's get started. If you take a step back and look at the world today, it feels like we're living in a storm. Wars are breaking out in different corners of the globe, economies are shaking, and the divide between people seems to be growing every day. On the surface, life may look normal, people go to work, children go to school, and cities are still bustling with life. But beneath this veneer of normalcy, there's a deep sense of unease. It's as if we're all collectively holding our breath, waiting for something to happen. In Buddhism, this state of the world is not surprising. The Buddha taught about samsara, the endless cycle of birth, suffering, death, and rebirth. This cycle is driven by our desires and attachments, our constant craving for more. Whether it's more money, more recognition, or more comfort, this endless wanting leads not to fulfillment, but to suffering. The more we chase after worldly things, the more trapped we become, like a fly caught in a spider's web. Christianity, too, provides a clear lens through which to view these times. Jesus spoke of an era when the world would be consumed by greed and ambition, when the love of many will grow cold, Matthew 24 verse 12. You don't have to look far to see this happening today. People are so focused on building their own empires, whether it's a career, a social media following, or financial wealth, that they often lose sight of what truly matters. Compassion, kindness, and community often take a back seat to self-promotion and material gain. What's fascinating is how both traditions describe this as a form of spiritual sleep. Buddhism warns of ignorance, one of the three poisons, alongside desire and anger. Ignorance isn't just a lack of knowledge, it's a deep, almost willful blindness to the truth of life. It's living on autopilot, allowing distractions and desires to guide your actions without questioning where they lead. Similarly, Jesus used parables to illustrate this kind of spiritual sleep. The parable of the 10 virgins, Matthew 25 verses 1 to 13, tells of those who were unprepared when the bridegroom arrived. Half of them had their lamps filled with oil, ready and awake, while the other half found themselves in the dark, left behind because they weren't paying attention. The truth is, the world offers endless distractions to keep us spiritually asleep. Social media feeds us a stream of entertainment. Advertisements constantly tell us we need the next best thing. Even our work and daily routines can become a kind of hypnosis, where days blend into weeks, and weeks into years, without us ever pausing to ask, am I living a life of meaning? Am I truly awake to what matters? Imagine you're on a train speeding down a track. You look out the window and see beautiful scenery rushing by. You might think, I'll enjoy this later. Right now, I'll just focus on my phone. But what if that train is heading toward the end of the line? What if you never get the chance to look up? Both Buddha and Jesus invite us to look up, to pay attention, and to realize that time is not as limitless as it seems. The signs of the times aren't just in the headlines. They're in our own lives, too. Have you ever felt a sense of emptiness even when everything around you seemed fine? Have you ever achieved a goal only to find that the happiness it brought faded quickly? These are signs, too, not external ones, but internal. They're like an alarm clock ringing in your soul, asking you to wake up. As we continue, think about this: are you awake, or are you just going through the motions of life? Are you living with intention, or are you being swept along by the current of distractions and desires? These are the questions that lie at the heart of both Buddhist and Christian teachings, and they might just hold the key to finding peace in a chaotic world. Stay with me as we explore this deeper, and I promise you'll see the world, and your life, in a whole new light. Distraction is one of the greatest dangers to our spiritual well-being. In today's world, distractions are not just common, they are a way of life. We wake up to the sound of notifications, spend our days bouncing from task to task, and unwind by scrolling through endless streams of content. Our minds are constantly pulled in 100 different directions, making it nearly impossible to find stillness or focus on what truly matters. In Buddhism, this state of distraction is often described through stories and parables. One powerful story is about a man being chased by a tiger. He runs until he reaches the edge of a cliff and grabs a vine to save himself. Above him, the tiger waits hungrily, and below him, another tiger prowls. To make matters worse, 2 mice begin gnawing on the vine he's holding. Yet, amidst this peril, the man notices a strawberry growing on the cliffside. He plucks it and eats it, savoring its sweetness. This story illustrates how easily we become absorbed by temporary pleasures, even when danger surrounds us. The tigers represent life's inevitable dangers, aging, sickness, and death, while the mice symbolize the passage of time, slowly cutting away at our lifeline. Instead of facing the reality of his situation, the man chooses to focus on the strawberry, a fleeting pleasure that distracts him from the urgency of his predicament. Christianity shares a similar warning through the parable of the 10 virgins, Matthew 25 verses 1 to 13. Jesus describes 10 young women waiting for a bridegroom. They all have lamps, but only 5 bring extra oil. When the bridegroom arrives at midnight, the unprepared women realize their lamps have burned out. While they rush to buy more oil, the door to the wedding feast is shut, and they are left outside, hearing the chilling words, "I do not know you." This parable is not just a story, but a powerful reminder. The oil in their lamps symbolizes spiritual readiness, faith, good deeds, and a genuine relationship with God. Those who were distracted by other things missed their opportunity because they did not prepare when they had the chance. Like the man savoring the strawberry, they were too focused on the immediate to see the bigger picture. What ties these stories together is a profound truth: distraction can lead to spiritual sleep. When we are constantly chasing the next experience, the next promotion, or the next purchase, we can become blind to the deeper needs of our souls. Buddha taught about right mindfulness, the practice of being fully present, fully aware of the moment and its impermanence. Jesus also called his followers to stay awake and alert, to watch and pray, so they would not be caught off guard by what is to come. This danger of distraction is more relevant today than ever before. With so much entertainment and information at our fingertips, it is easy to lose track of time and purpose. We often find ourselves drifting through days, weeks, and even years without a clear sense of direction. The world tells us to live for the moment, but it rarely asks us to think about where those moments are leading us. Here's a practical exercise to bring more mindfulness into your daily life. Next time you find yourself reaching for your phone or getting lost in a task, pause and ask yourself, is this bringing me closer to peace, wisdom, or compassion? Or is it just a distraction? This small moment of awareness can make a huge difference. It is like adding oil to your lamp, keeping your inner light burning bright. Think about this: what are the strawberries in your life? What temporary pleasures are keeping you from facing reality or preparing spiritually? Are you like the prepared virgins, with enough oil to keep your lamp burning, or are you assuming that you will have more time later to focus on your spiritual life? As we move into the next section, we will explore how to find true peace, peace that lasts beyond the fleeting pleasures of this world. Stay with me, and let's keep our lamps filled and our hearts awake. In a world that often feels like it's spinning out of control, finding inner peace can seem almost impossible. Yet, both Buddhism and Christianity offer a pathway to calm the chaos, not by changing the world around us, but by transforming the world within us. They teach us that true peace isn't something we find outside ourselves, it's something we cultivate in our hearts and minds. In Buddhism, this path to peace begins with mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, observing thoughts and feelings without judgment. It's about noticing the world around you, the way your feet feel against the ground, the sound of your breath, the warmth of the sun on your skin. When we are mindful, we break the cycle of constantly reacting to life. Instead, we find a stillness that allows us to respond with wisdom and compassion. One powerful Buddhist practice is meditation. Meditation trains the mind to let go of distractions and focus on the present. It creates a mental space where worries about the past and fears about the future can no longer hold power over us. The Buddha described this state as the calm lake, a mind so still that it perfectly reflects the truth of reality. Just as a lake settles when the wind stops, our minds become clear when we quiet the noise of our daily lives. Jesus also spoke about a profound inner peace. In John 14 verse 27, he said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." The peace that Jesus offers is not dependent on external circumstances. It's a deep, abiding peace that remains even in the midst of storms. This peace comes from knowing that no matter what happens, God is in control and His love never fails. The Christian tradition offers practices like prayer and contemplation to achieve this peace. Prayer is not just about asking for things, but also about creating a quiet space where we can listen to God's voice. It's a way to realign our hearts with His will and to let go of our anxieties. The Apostle Paul encouraged believers to not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, Philippians 4 verse 6. When we do this, the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard our hearts and minds. What's remarkable is how both teachings align on a practical level. Buddhism encourages us to be present and accept what is, while Christianity teaches us to trust in God and surrender our worries. Both paths lead to freedom, freedom from the noise, the stress, and the endless striving for more. But finding this peace requires practice. It's not a one-time event, but a daily choice. Here's a simple exercise to try. Each morning, before you start your day, take 5 minutes to sit quietly. Focus on your breath, or say a short prayer. Let your mind settle. Imagine that you are creating a calm space within yourself, a refuge that you can return to throughout the day whenever things get hectic. This practice might seem small, but over time, it builds a foundation of peace that nothing in the world can shake. When you feel stressed or overwhelmed, remind yourself, I can find peace right here, right now. The more you practice this, the stronger your inner peace will become. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What helps you find peace in your daily life? Do you meditate, pray, or perhaps find peace in nature or through a hobby? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's learn from each other and grow together on this journey to finding lasting peace. As we continue, we'll explore how to avoid falling into spiritual sleep and how to stay awake to the deeper meaning of life. If you're ready to take this journey further, keep watching, you won't want to miss what's next. One of the greatest dangers in life is spiritual sleep. This isn't the kind of sleep where you close your eyes at night and drift into dreams. Spiritual sleep is when you go through life on autopilot, moving through your days without truly living, seeing, or feeling. It's when you're so caught up in the routines, distractions, and demands of the world that you forget to ask the big questions. Why am I here? What is the purpose of my life? Am I living in alignment with my deepest values? In Buddhism, this state is often described as ignorance, one of the three poisons that keep us trapped in samsara, the endless cycle of suffering. Ignorance isn't just a lack of knowledge, it's a clouded perception of reality. It's like walking through life with a veil over your eyes, never seeing the truth about yourself, others, or the world. The Buddha emphasized the importance of awakening, bodhi, a state of deep understanding and clarity. Those who are awake see life as it truly is, with all its impermanence and interconnectedness. In Christianity, Jesus often warned about the dangers of spiritual sleep through parables. The parable of the 10 virgins, Matthew 25 verses 1 to 13, is a powerful example. The 10 virgins all expected the bridegroom's arrival, but only 5 were truly prepared. The others fell asleep, unprepared and unaware of the urgency of the moment. When the bridegroom finally arrived, it was too late for them. The door was shut, and they were left outside. This story is not just about the end times, but also about the dangers of living life in a state of spiritual slumber. Jesus also urged his followers to stay awake and be vigilant. In Mark 13 verses 35 to 37, he said, "Therefore keep watch, because you do not know when the owner of the house will come back, whether in the evening, or at midnight, or when the rooster crows, or at dawn. If he comes suddenly, do not let him find you sleeping. What I say to you, I say to everyone, watch." Here, sleep is a metaphor for complacency and a lack of spiritual readiness. But how do we avoid this spiritual sleep? The answer lies in cultivating awareness and intentionality in our everyday lives. Buddhism offers the practice of right mindfulness, being fully present and aware of each moment. This practice involves observing your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without getting lost in them. It's about waking up to the here and now, breaking free from habitual patterns, and seeing life with fresh eyes. In Christian tradition, this awareness comes through practices like prayer, meditation, and reflection. When we pray, we are not just speaking to God, but also quieting our minds and aligning our hearts with His will. Reflection helps us to examine our lives, recognize where we may be spiritually asleep, and take steps to reawaken our faith. Here's a practical exercise you can try right now. Pause for a moment and take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs. Notice how your body feels. Look around you, really look. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? This simple practice can help you break out of autopilot and bring you back into the present moment. It is in the present moment that we find the opportunity to connect with our spiritual selves and with God. Another powerful tool is gratitude. When we are grateful, we open our eyes to the blessings around us. Gratitude helps us stay awake to the goodness in our lives, even when things are difficult. You could start a simple practice of writing down 3 things you are grateful for each day. Over time, this practice sharpens your awareness and keeps your spirit awake. The truth is, staying spiritually awake requires intention. It is not something that happens by accident. Both Buddhism and Christianity teach us that life is precious and that every moment is an opportunity to grow closer to enlightenment or to God. The more we practice awareness and gratitude, the more prepared we will be, whether for life's challenges or for the bridegroom's arrival. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever felt like you were living on autopilot? What helps you stay spiritually awake and present? Share your experiences in the comments, and let's encourage each other to live more fully awake. As we move into the next part, we'll discuss how to prepare ourselves for what's to come, both spiritually and practically. You won't want to miss it, so stay with me as we continue this journey to a more mindful, awakened life. If you've made it this far, you've already taken a powerful step towards spiritual awakening. You've started to see through the distractions, understand the dangers of spiritual sleep, and learn how to find peace within yourself. But knowing isn't enough. Wisdom is only powerful when put into action. Now it's time to talk about how to truly prepare yourself, not just for life's everyday challenges, but for the bigger, spiritual journey ahead. Both Buddhism and Christianity offer practical and spiritual tools to help us stay prepared. In Buddhism, the path to preparation is outlined in the Eightfold Path, particularly through right intention and right action. Right intention involves committing to a life of compassion, kindness, and non-attachment. It means setting your mind and heart on things that lead to peace and enlightenment. Right action is about living ethically, being honest, avoiding harm, and contributing positively to the world around you. These practices help you build a life grounded in mindfulness and purpose, keeping you awake and aware. In Christianity, preparation is closely tied to living a life of faith and obedience. Jesus often spoke about being ready for his return, encouraging his followers to watch and pray, Matthew 26 verse 41. This isn't just about looking out for signs of the end times, it's about living every day as if it matters, because it does. Every action, every choice, every moment of kindness or compassion is a step in preparing spiritually. Paul wrote to the Ephesians, urging them to put on the full armor of God, Ephesians 6 verses 10 to 18, to stand firm against life's trials. This armor includes truth, righteousness, faith, and the Word of God, spiritual tools that keep us grounded and protected. What's beautiful is how these teachings align. Whether through the Buddhist practice of right action or the Christian call to live righteously, the message is clear: preparation is not passive. It is an active, daily practice. Just as you wouldn't expect to run a marathon without training, you can't expect to navigate life's spiritual challenges without preparing your heart and mind. But what does this preparation look like in everyday life? It can be as simple as starting your day with a few minutes of prayer or meditation. This sets the tone for your day, grounding you before the busyness begins. It might mean pausing throughout the day to breathe, reflect, and recenter yourself. You could practice gratitude, acknowledging the blessings in your life and allowing them to fill you with peace. You might also set small intentions, like choosing to respond with patience when you feel frustrated or offering a kind word when someone needs it most. One powerful practice from Buddhism is metta, or loving-kindness meditation. This involves sending thoughts of love and goodwill to yourself, your loved ones, and even to those who challenge you. It's a way of preparing your heart, keeping it soft and open, no matter what life throws at you. On the Christian side, the practice of daily prayer or scripture reading can be a powerful way to prepare spiritually. These practices help you stay connected to God, reminding you of His promises and His love. When you read verses like, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God," Philippians 4 verse 6, you are reminded to bring your worries to Him, finding peace and strength. But preparation is not only about spiritual practices, it's also about your mindset. It's about expecting challenges and choosing to face them with faith and wisdom. The Buddha encouraged his followers to approach life with equanimity, maintaining a calm and balanced mind through both good times and bad. Jesus modeled this perfectly, showing grace under pressure, love in the face of hate, and forgiveness where others might hold grudges. Here's a simple exercise to help you prepare spiritually. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, was I mindful today? Did I act with compassion and integrity? Was my heart open to God's guidance? This daily check-in can help you see where you are growing and where you might need to focus more attention. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What helps you feel spiritually prepared? Do you have a practice, a ritual, or a mindset that keeps you grounded? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue to support each other on this journey. As we move toward the conclusion, remember that preparation isn't about fear or anxiety. It's about living a life that is rich with meaning and purpose, staying awake to the beauty of each moment, and being ready for whatever comes next. Keep watching, and let's explore how to carry this mindset forward into every part of our lives. We've taken quite a journey today, exploring how to find peace in a chaotic world, stay spiritually awake, and prepare ourselves both mentally and spiritually for what's to come. We've drawn from the timeless wisdom of Buddhism and Christianity, showing how these teachings are not just ancient philosophies, but practical guides for modern life. The truth is, the world will continue to change. There will be challenges, distractions, and moments where it feels easier to close our eyes and drift through life. But you don't have to live that way. You have the tools, the knowledge, and the inner strength to remain awake, mindful, and prepared. It starts with small steps, taking a moment of gratitude, practicing mindfulness, praying, or simply breathing deeply and being present. Now, I want to invite you to continue this journey with me. If you found value in today's video, if it sparked a new perspective or inspired you to live more intentionally, then make sure to subscribe to our channel, Tiny English Tips. Here, we blend powerful spiritual teachings with English listening practice, helping you not only improve your language skills but also enrich your mind and spirit. By subscribing, you'll get access to more videos like this, content that challenges you to think deeply, encourages you to grow, and supports you in building a life filled with peace and purpose. Plus, with every new video, you'll have the chance to practice your English in a natural and engaging way, building your listening skills and vocabulary without even realizing it. And before you go, take a moment to like this video if it resonated with you. It might seem like a small action, but it helps spread this message to others who might need to hear it. You never know, your like, comment, or share could be the wake-up call someone else needs. Finally, I'd love to hear from you. What part of today's message spoke to you the most? Do you have any stories or experiences about finding peace or staying spiritually awake? Share them in the comments below. Let's continue this conversation, learn from each other, and build a community that supports growth and mindfulness. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you walk away feeling a little more prepared, a little more awake, and a lot more at peace. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, so don't forget to subscribe to Tiny English Tips and turn on the notification bell. Until next time, stay mindful, stay prepared, and keep finding joy in the journey. See you soon.